My girlfriend has been taking credit for my crafts. Am I unreasonable for being mad at her? Bit of backstory. I, 23 meters, like to knit, and so I learned how when I was a little kid, and my gran would care for me a lot, and she taught me how knitting is my main thing. But I'm also partial to a bit of embroidery, cross stitch and quilting naturally. I have several things I've made around my flat. This includes, key to the situation, a quilt my gran and I made together in her last weeks of life, which is my most treasured thing. So on to the current situation. I've been seeing this woman, 28F, for close to a year now, and I really do like her a lot. We don't live together yet, but she spends quite a lot of time at my flat. She's a bit of a selfie queen and is always snapping pics of herself. This doesn't bother me, but it's relevant. I ran into one of her friends while doing some errands, and we got to chatting. I had on a hat I had knitted myself, and she complimented it and asked if GF had made it for me. I said no, I didn't. Her friend said, oh cool, you knit too. Did she teach you? I was a little taken aback at the question, because my GF definitely does not know how to knit. I've tried to teach her several times, but she never got the hang of it, and she, by her own admission, doesn't have the patience to put that much time into something she finds generally tedious. I told the friend that my GF doesn't know how to knit, and she kind of made a face and said, are you sure? She's always posting pictures of stuff she made to that Instagram account, and she made other friend that hat, scarf and glove set for her birthday. I asked which Instagram account she meant, because her main is mostly selfies, and the friend showed me a side account I wasn't aware of, where my GF was posting stuff I knitted / sewed and claiming it as her own. This includes a picture of my special quilt. I kind of brushed it off with a friend, but decided to confront my GF about it later. Later on, before she got back, I scrolled right through the Insta and saw it's been on the go for a good 8 months or so. She had pictures of pretty much every handmade thing in my flat, posted with captions claiming that she had made them herself. She must have been taking pictures almost every time she came over, but I guess I didn't notice because I'm so used to her taking selfies that I don't really pay attention when she starts taking photos. I kept coming back to the quilt post and getting more and more annoyed because she fully posted it using my story about my gran and stuff, just pretending it was about her. I also couldn't stop thinking about the hat, scarf and gloves she gave her friend and apparently claimed she had made. I made those on my GF's request to be a gift from the both of us. If you knit or sew or anything, you know how much time and work goes into making things. I think I'm mostly upset that she's discrediting all of that and claiming it as her own. When she got home, I asked her about it, and she laughed and said it wasn't a big deal. I said it was to me for the above reasons, and she got upset with me and started crying. She said that she's sorry she's not as creative as I am, and that I think I'm better than her, and she's sorry for trying to do a nice thing for her friend Ri, the knitted set, and she's sorry she wanted to show off cool pretty things to people. I said I didn't mind her showing my work, but why did she have to take the credit? She just cried harder and called me a bully and then left the flat. I guess she told some of her friends, because I've had a few texts in the 2 days since this happened. One of them agreed that her claiming credit for my stuff is weird and not okay, but others agreed with her that I'm a bully and made her cry for no reason. I guess my questions here are twofold. 1. Am I really making a mountain out of a molehill? 2. What do I do going forwards with this? No, you're not overreacting at all. That is some bizarre ass behavior, and personally I think it would be a big enough red flag to end the relationship. For 8 months, she's had a secret Instagram account, posting pictures of everything you've made, lying to everyone, taking credit for your work, and using your history / grandma story as her own. That's fucking creepy. I'd run the other way. This, plus the fact she's 28 years old and runs away crying telling you you're a bully when you point out what she did wrong. And also some friends say you're bullying her for no reason. Close bracket. Op is not dating a mature woman. 2. 8 and there's her emotional age. Edit. OMG, my first award. Thank you, kind stranger. She tries to minimize her behavior and turn the issue back on Op. She said that she's sorry she's not as creative as I am, and that I think I'm better than her, and she's sorry for trying to do a nice thing for her friend Ri, the knitted set, and she's sorry she wanted to show off cool pretty things to people. Carrot this plus the bullying comment you mentioned is so manipulative. There's a reason she's with a 23-year-old. Op, I really hope you take what I'm saying seriously. You're not overreacting. What she did was wrong. But how she reacted to bring court is truly scary. If you can't see it for yourself, try to imagine someone you love and feel protective towards in your shoes and see how you would feel. Or imagine if a friend had done to your girlfriend what she's done to you. Imagine how she would react. Imagine how you would react. Let's go over the events here as you imagine those things. 1. You trust her enough to welcome her into your home, and she secretly takes pictures of all of your most treasured items. Things that you put your heart and soul into. 2. Then she puts them on a secret account that she very obviously kept hidden from you on purpose. Why do that? Because she knew what she was doing is wrong and ducked up. 3. You find out. She tries to blow it off and say it was no big deal. I embroider and I know how much effort and thought and feeling good into each piece. She seriously violated your privacy. Took credit for all your hard work because she knows how cool it is and how awesome you are for doing try, and she wants people to think she's awesome instead. She's not. She's selfish and manipulative. 3. When you refuse to let that go, she turns it around and starts crying and accuses you of somehow having hurt her. That's a huge red flag. It's a classic abuser move, and in this case it is at the least extremely manipulative. Edit. Sent too early. Bad phone. Long post. I think you would want anyone you care about to get the duck out of that situation and get credit for the work they did and deserve if they want. This is very dangerous behavior. So your girlfriend lied to all her friends and you faked a whole bunch of stories to get likes, then got upset at you for calling her out on it. She is fake and manipulative and doesn't seem like a good person. I wouldn't even try and fix this. You can't be called a bully for calling her out for her lying and manipulating people. I think you're right to be upset. I cross-stitch and the amount of time it can take is insane. Plus she made an alternative account that you didn't know of. Clearly she knew it was wrong. I don't know exactly how you can go from here. If she concedes that it's wrong and stops doing it and you want to keep dating her, then go for it. But honestly, to me this is a huge blow to the relationship. It would take a lot for me to forgive her, and from what you wrote it doesn't sound like she's willing to apologize. 1. You aren't making a mountain out of a molehill. 2. Her immediate reaction to being confronted was to play victim when you're the victim here. Not only did she try and make you feel bad for her / make it seem like you're doing stuff you aren't, which is pretty backwards considering she's taking credit for stuff she didn't do, but also claimed she wanted to do something nice for her friend when she did nothing but take 100% credit for a gift which was meant to be from both of you. 3. Her stealing the story about your gran is a huge deal. She's stolen credit for countless hours of your work. But even worse, stolen what seems like a pretty damn important memory / story and convinced people it belongs to her. To be completely honest, she sounds vapid, shallow, selfish and not particularly nice. She's been lying to her friends and followers for almost the entirety of your relationship about herself and you. It doesn't sound like she cares about you, beyond being the person who supplies content for her to steal. Ask her to admit to her lies and make it clear, again, how hurt you are. If she drags her feet or refuses, then get out of there. She's clearly a manipulator, so don't fall for her BS. If / when you break up, she's likely to make up a bunch more bullshit, likely about you. So I'd prepare to deal with that in advance. Save messages, warn friends, etc. Here in Norway, a few bakeries advertised their jubileum cake for our Emancipation Day. Turned out a private lady with a tiny business had made it. Sued and won. Because it's fraud to present others' work as your own. NTA. I guess she told some of her friends, because I've had a few texts in the 2 days since this happened. Do you think she told them the truth? An unbiased story? Or do you think she lied to make herself look better, as she has been to you and her friends for the last year? You are dating someone who lies habitually. Decide if you want that, because you can't change her. This is just ducked up. This lady has some problems, and she needs to figure this one out herself. You don't deserve to be treated and gaslighted that way. There's no way you are a bully. As a fellow suist/crafter, this is so insanely bizarre of her to do. And it pretty pissed as well. Seems like she quite likes attention, with the selfies, and claiming credit for your works. Even with the grandma story. So I guess you got to decide whether you want to be with someone who craves attention so desperately that she lied about making things that not only she didn't make, but weren't even hers, and deliberately hiding it from you. It's just weird ass behavior. And you're pretty rightly upset, Imo. I think the only way of possible getting past this is if she fully admits that what she did was wrong and apologizes to you. Well, not only did she steal, she manipulated the situation. Run. She just cried harder and called me a bully and then left the flat. Davo. Deny. Attack. Reverse victim and defender. This is a very common manipulation tactic of toxic people. If anyone is interested, here is an entire list link. com/shahidarabi/2016/06/20 diversion tactics highly manipulative narcissists, sociopaths and psychopaths use to silence you / close bracket. I really don't think it is worth carrying on with this relationship. You will avoid a lot of heartache if you break up now. Nor duck her. You don't take credit for others' hard work. That's art piece theft and very wrong. She crying is manipulation cause she knows what she's doing is wrong. She's a liar and a likes to take steal art and credit. Break up with her. What else of yours is she going to take credit for? She's already stealing a part of your life. She's gaslighting you. And duck those friends. They probably got one side of the story and ran with it and don't want to consider anything else. So first things first, you are not a bully. And you didn't make her cry. Based on any of the context you've given here, you confronted her on taking your work as her own, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. Her reaction to that, crying and calling you a bully, is unstable at best, but most likely outright manipulative. I would not be comfortable continuing a relationship with someone who is so obviously fake. Textbook gaslighting. Does she always react to confrontation in the relationship like that? Question mark? That would be a huge red flag for me. Totally disregarded how you felt, made it all about her feelings, and somehow made you the bad guy. I hope explained the situation to her weird ass friends. Also, the fact she lied and also kept this account hidden from you shows she knew what she was doing was wrong. I'm a knitter, crocheter, and all around crafter. I have sold pieces in the past, not many, and I have made lots of gifts for others. I could live with her posting things to strangers on the internet. The why is beyond me, however, but not for people I roll to see the account. For you to make a gift that was supposed to be from both of you and she passed it off as her own is terrible. Exclamation mark. That would make me very upset, and I might question her mental stability if she thinks this is okay to do to someone. Also, why in the world would she steal your grandmother story? You see how easily she lied, flipped it on you, tried to cry her way out of it, and tried to spin the story to her people before you could say anything. If you stay with her, she will do you even worse than that in a situation where you would think she should be solid. By staying with her, you're saying it's okay to lie to you, not tell you, and blame you when she's found out. What she did is shitty and definitely a big deal. But, Imo, the much bigger red flag is her reaction. First, she tried to brush it off as nothing, but when that didn't work, she immediately switched to 100% grade A manipulation, trying to make you feel like the bad guy for picking on her poor little self. That, combined with the fact she took credit for your work and deliberately hid that from you, is a bad sign. It speaks to the core of who she is, and that core is selfish and rotten. As you dump her, present her with a knitted turd. She got upset with me and started crying. She said that she's sorry she's not as creative as I am, and that I think I'm better than her, and she's sorry for trying to do a nice thing for her friend Ri, the knitted set, and she's sorry she wanted to show off cool pretty things to people. I said I didn't mind her showing my work, but why did she have to take the credit? She just cried harder and called me a bully and then left the flat. Damn, she dodging harder than Trump dodged Vietnam. See how everything she says is deflecting the blame. First, she blames you for being more creative. Totally valid reason to steal credit, right? Then she is doing it for her friends. Absolutely not personal gain/s. Then she is doing for all of humankind. Ever thought her yawning would get that far? Close bracket. Then you bring the talk back on point. Her stealing credit. And she runs. You're not a bully. And she's only upset because she got caught. What you do going forwards is up to you. But I personally would be expecting a sincere apology. After that, I'd let it go. No, you are not. My now deceased grandma taught me to crochet and sew, and a very special group of women taught me to quilt during a very bad time in my life. To say my crafts are important to me is an understatement. If someone else tried to claim credit for the things they taught me to make, and that I'm so very proud of, well, hell hath no fury like a crafter scorned. Isn't the "you're bullying me" defense sort of the last resort of guilty people who don't have a leg to stand on? So they try to turn it around on their accuser? It's the same thing when someone gets caught cheating on their partner. The cheater immediately wants to know how you found out, so that they can blame you instead. You found out because they left Facebook logged in, and you saw the sexual photos they were sending to their secret affair. Well, now you are the bad guy. Because you looked at their Facebook account, and that's a violation of privacy. Every time someone lies/cheats/deceives, they try to flip it when they get caught. Your girlfriend is no different. She's a not original girl doing a not original flip the script trick that we've all seen a million times. She blatantly stole credit for your work. In any creative industry, she would be persona non grata. Music artists sue each other for millions of dollars over this, and they don't have even a fraction of the evidence that you do. The least you should do is dump her ass and file a copyright infringement complaint with Instagram. Started crying. She said that she's sorry she's not as creative as I am, and that I think I'm better than her. And she's sorry for trying to do a nice thing for her friend Ri, the knitted set. And she's sorry she wanted to show off cool pretty things to people. Wow. That's manipulative as duck. I would make a copyright claim or something if possible. Sue that bee. Answer 1. If it's a big deal to you, then it's a big deal. Answer 2. She doesn't sound very emotionally mature, and you really need to consider whether or not you want to be with someone who steals your work, but also responds the way she did. She shouldn't discredit your work, and I do crochet. I understand how much time and effort it could be. That is very sickening. Also, why did her friends text you and attack you? That is not very mature. She should have talked to you and made it up to you. I'm an eater and I'd be mad if someone took credit for my hard work. You need to report that Instagram account and have a conversation again with your girlfriend when she has calmed down enough to talk reasonably. If she refuses to apologize and take down the account or give you credit, then perhaps reconsider the relationship. Your girlfriend is a manipulative liar. Like, creating a whole netting persona with an Instagram page devoted to her creations is weird enough, but she crossed a line by lying about the quilt and her grandmother. That's pathological liar shit. That she turned it around on you, made herself out to be the victim, then claimed you were bullying her for confronting her about her own lies and manipulations, not just of you, but of her friends, and who knows how many other people, is the final straw, turning her friends against you. Sorry, man, but dump her. Personally, I doubt her scamming ass on Instagram, too. When you decide to end it, please protect that quilt and other important pieces, because she might just be spiteful enough to take them or destroy them. She cares more about her image and what others think about her than you. You're not wrong to be upset. It's very weird and sketchy to take credit for your art, and her crying and calling you a bully sounds very manipulative. She tried to make it seem like you're in the wrong because she knows she is. Was she planning on asking you make these things for friends and possibly making a profit of your work? Either way, it's messed up and violated your privacy and took advantage of your trust. I'd leave her. She said that she's sorry that she's not as creative as I am, and that I think I'm better than her. Definitely not an apology. She's into lying and manipulation. A healthy relationship is built on trust and respect. You are worthy of that. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.